Hare Krishna devotees. Prabhuji will join in 5 minutes.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept our humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna. Sorry for the delay.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Can someone give me the access? Screen sharing.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarane Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our third session on Bhagavad Cosmology. So, in the last two classes, we have been discussing about the Bhumandala very elaborately. From the discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam and from the discussion of Bhugalavarnam, we may come to an idea that the whole Bhumandala is like a flat disc, like a single rupee coin, which is kept on the hoods of Shesha, who, taking support of Kurma, is who is floating above the waters of Garbhodaka ocean, like that. So this is the cross section of the entire Bhumandala, which is like a circular disc, huge circular disc. And we have three sections in this. This entire area inside the mountain is called Loka Varsha. And this is Loka mountain. And the area outside is Aloka Varsha. And according to Bhugala Varnanam, the Aloka Varsha is non-different from Garbhodaka ocean. And then this Loka mountain is actually coming out of the Garbhodaka ocean. This is the ice mountain, ice circular boundary mountain. And the remaining part of the Bhumandala is like an umbrella. So this is how we have seen in the previous class, how the Bhumandala look like, etc. So here, this upper surface of this particular entity, this is called Bhuloka or Bhumandala. And from here to this line, this intermediate space is all called as Bhurloka. And from this line to this line, this entire space is called as Swargaloka. So these are the three principal divisions within our universe: Bhuloka, Bhurloka, Swargaloka. Then we also saw that the 7 lower planetary systems are situated within the Bhumandala. They are known as Bilaswargas because they are located like 7 bilas inside the solid Bhumandala. They are not like freely floating planets in the outer space. They are actually the caves or tunnels within the Bhumandala, and there are 7 such tunnels. And there is the 8th tunnel also. The 8th tunnel is the Narakaloka, where the sinful human beings are punished. So like that. So this is what we discussed. This is all about Bhumandala. And then we also discussed about Jambudipa. The Bhagavatam picture appears to be like that. But Bhugalavarna picture is like this. They all talk about a little bit extra mountains and other things and symmetry in all 4 directions, etc. And then there was a discussion about the importance. I mean, why Bhumandala should be like this only? Because Bhumandala is like this. As a result of that, we could have the experience of day and night throughout the Bhumandala. If Bhumandala is supposed to be flat, people will have daytime always. There is no nighttime only, no one will experience nighttime. But scriptures talk about day and night. And then they support as a result of reason is because the Bhumandala is like this. That's why they experience the day and night throughout the Bhumandala. Then there was a discussion about the 9 divisions within Bharata Varsha. They appears to be, this is the picture shown in the Bhugalavananam. These 9 divisions are actually increasing in height and they're also gradually increasing in length. The width of all the 9 divisions is 1000 yojanas each. The width does not change, but the height and length are changing, are gradually increasing. And the 9th division is our Bharatakanda, our earth globe, which is spherical in nature. And the bottom side, it is connected to the saltwater ocean down below, and also the Bhumandala down below the underneath the ocean, through a ice column. Or we can say there is a column, the earth column is inside, and surrounding the earth column, there is also some ice, something like that we can say. And in order to support that, we have given some examples. It is not that we are establishing, but we are just throwing some light, giving a benefit of doubt. So the flight routes are not there. The space expedition generally happening in the horizontal direction, and a lot of water content on the surface of the earth is on the bottom side, so towards South Pole side. And people who visited South Pole also, they said there are a lot of ice columns. So one among the ice column might be there. Why not? So giving a benefit of doubt. So having said all these things, finally there could be a question. In the Jambudipa, there are so many things are there. We have Mount Meru, very huge mountain. We have Greater Himalayas, which are 10,000 yojanas in height. And we have 8 sections, 8 other sections of the Bharata Varsha, which are all gradually increasing in height. And so many these things are there. And we are talking about this ice column down below South Pole. And below that ice column, there is saltwater ocean, just down below the South Pole area. So why are we not seeing all these things? Why are we not able to see the saltwater ocean, this ice column, the huge complete ice column? And why are we not able to see these 8 divisions? Why are we not able to see these huge Himalaya mountains? Why are we not able to see this huge Mount Meru? So that is the question. So why we are not able to see these things which are very near to us, this Mount Meru or all these big trees, big mountains, big rivers? Where are these things? Are they really existing, or they are simply spoken in the scriptures and we are simply repeating and making stories out of it? So this is the one of the important question. Why Mount Meru, the bigger Himalayas, and Jambudipa are not seen by us? What is the reason? So we'll discuss about this, why we are not able to see all these things. So last 2 days we are discussing so many things. So discussion is one part, and second part is that, what you're talking about, where are they? If you are discussing, please show us. Then otherwise, what do they need of discussing all these things? Like that question might come. So we'll try to spend some time on this particular aspect today, and then we'll start the vertical structure of the universe starting from 21st chapter onwards. But before getting into this topic, any questions based on the discussion till now from devotees? Yeah, yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, can you please show the first slide?
Little louder. First slide means which the first one which I showed.
In which the exact picture is there. Kurma is there. Like Shesha is there.
Cross section of the. Yeah.
Prabhuji, please don't mind. I'm just asking. Will Shesha be under the water?
No, Shesha is not inside the water because I showed them bigger. It appears like that. It is not like that. Kurma is floating in the water, and Shesha is above Kurma, and above Kurma, Shesha is above Kurma, and above Shesha is 8 elephants. I showed one picture yesterday. Yeah, you see, it is like this.
No, it's okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kindly remember this picture. The Kurma is floating in the water, and above Kurma is Shesha, above Shesha is elephant, above the Bhumandala. But in other pictures I showed, because we always say that the Garbhuda ocean is occupying half of the ocean, half of the universe. But this is not half. So I need to show this very close to it. These are actually very small. I'm showing them very big. That's why they are occupying more space. So in that way.
Kurma is in underwater also, and it's above water also. And
Yes.
Shesha is not at all
touching the water, not touching the water. Simple. If you have been to any ponds where tortoise are there, you see how the tortoise will be visible. Only the upper shell is visible. Remaining whole Kurma's body is inside. You don't understand whether it is Kurma or some dry leaf. So like that. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu, Balram Prabhu.
Prabhuji,
As we saw yesterday that this Bharat Khanda is on the ice pillar.
Ah.
So it seems that this Bharat Khanda is not on the Jambu Deep, seems to be apart from the Jambu Deep, in the salt water ocean, not at all touching the Jambu Deep. I am having this.
No. That's why I said, na, the column, the pillar means there's a connection to the bottom portion. So it's like, how can I say? So here we have a building in the mountain area. There is a flood. Okay. The flood has covered ground floor, but I am in the first floor. Am I floating in the water or am I connected to surface of the earth?
Okay. So still connected to the earth, but the pillar is, then the ice pillar is on the saltwater ocean, or is it on the Jambu Deep? Where is that pillar?
See, but where is the ocean? First of all, what is down below the ocean?
It's a salty water ocean, right, Prabhuji?
But ocean will be on the surface of the earth only somewhere. It cannot be in the ether.
Yeah, in the Bhumandal. Correct.
So the place where, because the earth globe is part of the Jambu Deepa, so it is in that area only. If it is outside, we could have mentioned it as an island outside Jambu Deepa. Like the other day I showed some islands, like Lanka, Simhala and all, they are outside.
Right.
So, but it is still inside that Jambu Deepa only. That's why it should be part of Jambu Deepa. It cannot be outside Jambu Deepa. See here, it is still here only. Is part of this only. Though ocean coming in between, but still part of this.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji. All right.
Yes, Anand Leela Mataji.
Prabhu, that 8 elephants thing, I was wondering that, I mean, according to the proportion, how the picture is going, like if this is that, the disc, the leaf, and then the elephants are somewhere here. So those, it's a small thing, So is that 8 elephants able to balance this big disc, like it,
You see, the elephants which are balancing are above. The elephants which are carrying the Bhumandala are below. See, the one who is balancing the Bhumandala, they are above. These are the 4 elephants which are balancing.
Yeah.
But these 8 are down below, they are carrying the weight. If you have been to market, if you've been to any market, flower market or sabji market, the people come from village in a basket, they get all the sabji in the basket. So the basket would be like very big, but they keep on the head only. The support is on the head only. There's a huge basket, but the support is on the head.
Okay.
So you are getting, if you have been to market and if you lived in the village, you understand this.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
The one who is holding will be in the center always. Like Lord Krishna was holding the Govardhan. How is he holding the Govardhan? He is down below the Govardhan, in the middle of the Govardhan, with little finger holding. The mountain is very huge.
Yeah.
But the person which is holding is only small small tip. So like that. So this, whether it is Kurma, Shesha, Red Elephant, they are exactly located in the middle of the Bhumandala, in the center. So like that. Other devotees, anyone has any question? Okay. So now let us come to our question. Why are we not able to see all these things which have been discussed till now? So many things we have discussed. So many mountains, so many oceans, so many dvipas, so many varshas, so many khandas. But ultimately we said Bharatakanda is our earth globe. What we know is only just earth globe. But where are all the other places? So the answer given in this book is simple, small one-line answer. There is no elaboration on this answer also. Adrushya Datavas Sarve Samutpanna Jala Adaya. Though the 14 planetary systems are made by the same Pancha Mahabhutas, earth, water, fire, air, ether. In some places, they become grossly visible. At other places, they become subtly invisible. This is the answer. The same 5 elements only, but some places they are visible to us. Here, if you see around us, we have the home, table, laptop, and bottle, and so many things. These are all grossly visible and perceivable things. But the same things will become imperceivable at some other place. So then, in order to help us understand, I put 2 examples. Okay. So before that, here, the translators, the Madhva scholars who are translating this book into English, they are saying that. So normally the question, people will ask a question is that you show me, then I'll believe. Don't simply say and tell me to believe it. You show me. Because we depend upon Pratyaksha so much. Unless until we see it, we don't accept. Normally, people in general. The question is, will our scientists ever get over the human tendency of succumbing to pride and prejudice in order to know the truth? Will they use a little introspection to shift from mere physical to spiritual? Can we shift from Pratyaksha to Shabda also? Let the wise build up a growing community to save the world from the darkness of materialism. Let them hold a torch of spiritual light. Let there be a renaissance of religious culture based on revelations. Instead of completely depending upon Pratyaksha, let us also take shelter of some Shabda. When we combine both, when we also depend on revelations, we'll get proper and complete information. Like that they are saying. So now, then, but still, no, it's okay, but we want to understand it properly. So we have first example, water. When the water is in solid state, we can hold it, we can perceive, and we can feel, especially now winter is going on in the northern India. Everyone has that experience. When the same water turns into liquid, we need a vessel, we need a patra to hold it. We can see it, but if you want to hold it, you need a patra. When the same water turns into vapor, can we see it? We can't see it. Then what to speak of holding it? It is water only. Water in one state, it is easy to hold. Water in another state, it is difficult to see only, then what to speak of holding it? So like that. This is one example. Second example is dust. When it is solid state, you can hold it. When it is liquid state, you can try to hold it. When it is gaseous, when it is actually thrown into the ether, normally you can't see. But if you are living in a dark room and there is a small window, the sunlight is coming in that sunlight you can see dust particles are moving here and there. You may say, here density is more, here density is less, that's why we can't see. But we are not getting into technical details, but trying to understand the principle. The same earth element also in a different state becomes invisible. In a different state is visible. So like that. Now, the third example is the most appropriate example, gold. So normally in our experience, gold is jada, and we all wear ornaments. Everyone is familiar with this, especially Matajis. The same gold in the spiritual world is Chinmaya. Here the gold has no life. It is red matter. But in the spiritual world, the gold also has life. The gold is also a person. Every golden ornament is a different person. There everything is Chinmaya. Chintamani Prakara Satmachu Kalpa Ruksha. And then, so we are not talking about either our place nor about spiritual world. In between, we are talking about the Devatas abode, Devaloka. In the Devaloka, the gold is neither gross nor spiritual. It is in between. So let us call this as subtle state. So how to understand this? I'll give you one example. When Kunti Maharani and Pandu Maharaj were praying to different devatas to have children. So first Yama appeared, then Vayu appeared, then Indra appeared and gave blessings of a son, all these 3 people. So now, when Indra appeared along with Indra, Indra's elephant also came, Indra's mukut also came, Indra's garland also came, Indra's ornaments also came, Indra's garments also came. They also appeared along with Indra. When Indra disappeared, they will also disappear. So we can say Indra is a devata. Okay. Airavata is also a heavenly person. Then what about Indra's mukut, Indra's garland, Indra's ornaments and garments? What about all these things? So when Indra appears, they also appear. When Indra disappears, they also disappear. That means because they are all in connection with Indra, who is a heavenly being, all these things connected to Indra also became heavenly. They all also assumed the heavenly properties. So normally Indra or his Airavat or his ornaments, mukut and all not visible. But when Indra wanted to show himself to Kunti Maharani and Pandu Maharaj, he became visible to them. He blessed them and disappeared. Same way, all these abodes that we are talking about are all part of heavenly abodes. We discussed previously also. Other than Bharatavarsha, sorry, remaining 8 Varshas are Bhauma Swarga. Since they are indicated as Swarga, they are all heavenly. So, being heavenly, they are not visible to us always. But when we are qualified enough to see them, when we are praying to them, when they want to show themselves to us, definitely will see them. So, like that. So, now, even here also, how can we see them? Just like Arjuna, he requested Lord Krishna, I want to see your universal form. How do you enter into this universe and maintain this? If I am qualified. Lord Krishna says, you are not qualified to see. But I'll give you the eyes of the Devatas. So with the Devata eyes, you can see Divyam Dadamite Chakshu Pashyame Yogameshwaram. So I'll give you Devata eyes. With that, you can see my Deva Rupa, the Rupa consisting of all the Devatas. Same way, if you want to see all the Deva Lokas, we need to have Devata eyes. With human eyes, you can only see human Loka. With Devata eyes, we can see Deva Loka as well as human Loka also. So that is the understanding. Since none of us possess Devata eyes, we can't see Deva Loka. That is the understanding. So that's why we can't see all these things. Though they are all there, since they are all part of Bhauma Swarga, we can't see them. And even the saltwater ocean that is down below the Bharatakanda, where the pillar is coming up. So one side the saltwater ocean is there, which is part of Jambudvipa, which is part of Bhauma Swarga. So saltwater ocean is subtle, but Bharatakanda is grass. The in between the pillar which is connecting both a subtle realm and grass realm. So some portion of the pillar which is very close to grass realm we can see. The remaining portion of the pillar which is very close to subtle portion we can't see. So like that we may give a benefit of doubt to understand what it is and how it is. So like that. Yes, Mataji, Ananda Lila Mataji.
I know this was discussed a little bit yesterday, but I'm not clear. Like as is discussed now that we don't have the, we are not empowered to go to these other places and we can't see them. And so then when these scientists they are saying that they went to this planet or this place or this place, so where they actually are going, like of course Prabhupada said they never went to the moon planet and things like that. So where actually, like, no, I mean, if not even actually, like, where are they actually projecting their, it's kind of little, um, I'm just curious. I don't know if there's an answer for this.
Since anyway we can't see them with our material eyes, for scientists, all these places are as good as not existing. When something is not existing anyway, they don't venture to go there. So they are making all the efforts to go either to the Mars, Venus, Mercury, or Moon. These are the places which are very close to us and which are visible to us. That's why they're trying to go there and try to find out. So that's all. And they're also trying to see what is there in the space, outer space. Space is vast. So what is there in the space? They try to see, try to understand what are the stars, meteors, all these things, etc. So that's what we can say. This Bhumandala, it's all part of heavenly abode, so it is invisible. So since it is invisible, anyway, they can't travel anywhere. They can't see. So in that.
Okay. Thank you.
So there is a story comes in Mahabharata, which will help us supporting this. If some of you must have heard this story, even though maybe in your childhood you must have read also. This story is about Nala Damayanti Swayamvar. Just like in Bhagavatam, we hear about Rukmini. Lord Krishna comes and captures Rukmini and takes her away. So not like that. But just like Rukmini used to hear about Lord Krishna from the great sages who used to visit them, and Lord Krishna used to hear about Rukmini who would visit him. Similarly, Nala and Damayanti used to hear about each other through a swan. There was a nice novel written by, nice book written by Kalidas that is called Amsaduta. He talks about this entire Nala Damayanti episode. Amsaduta, that book is known as. So when one swan would tell about Damayanti to Nala, Nala about Nala to Damayanti. So Damayanti wanted to marry Nala. She informed her father, "My dear father, I want to marry Nala." So because in those days the custom was to organize a Swayamvar. So Nala and Damayanti's father organized a Swayamvar. Everyone came. So even Devatas also heard about Damayanti. They became attracted to her. They want to marry her. They also came. And in the evening, the next day morning is Swayamvar. In the evening, the Devatas caught hold of Nala. And they told him, "You go and tell Damayanti that we have come from the heavenly abodes, went to Devatas, he should marry us. Otherwise, we'll trouble her." So Nala disguised himself as a messenger and went and informed Damayanti. And Damayanti told the messenger, "So my dear sir, please inform the Devatas that I have already given my heart to Nala. I have already chosen him as my husband. So I cannot marry anybody else. Please go back to their respective abodes." So the messenger informed. The Devatas became angry. How dare she can reject us? So next day morning during the Swayamvar, all the Devatas were present, but they were all took the form of Nala. So in that assembly, Swayamvar assembly, there are hundreds of Nalas. So when Damayanti came around noon time, they were all waiting this morning. So finally now Damayanti came. And when she came at the time of choosing the husband, she saw hundreds of Nalas there. So she understood the Devatas are trying to play a trick with me. So she bowed and kneeled down and she prayed to Devatas, begging forgiveness from them and requesting them that please reveal your original identities and then please go back and bless us after our marriage. And Devatas wanted to put a test to her. Okay, if you find out who is the right Nala among us, then we will go back. We will not create any impediments. Then since she is a princess, she must have been well educated and she knew who is who. So she was verifying who are the Devatas. What is the difference between the Devatas and human beings? So these are some of the traits which are there in Devatas, which are not there in the Devatas, etc. Damayanti then beheld all the Devatas who are not perspiring. Devatas will never perspire. And Devatas' eyes will never blink. And Devatas' garlands will never wither. If we wear garland in the morning, by afternoon, it all becomes black. But Devatas' garland will never fade. If Devatas' garland is fading means their lifespan, the Sargaloka is over. Something like that. And when Devatas sit on a asan or stand on the surface of the earth, their feet will never touch the ground. The Devatas' feet will never touch the ground. So like that. On the other hand, there is only one Nala among all the hundreds of Nalas standing preeminent on the ground with his shadow. So, and one more quality which was not mentioned in the previous verse is the Devatas will never cast in the noon time, and there is sun above their head, so there should be cast shadow. But the Devatas' bodies are never casting shadow. But there is only one Nala whose body is casting shadow. His body is perspiring because he was standing there in the sun since morning, and garland has become black, filled with dust, and he was also sitting nicely on the sitting or standing nicely on the ground or asan, whatever. If they were given some asan, they are sitting nicely. If they were not given asan, they are standing nicely. So she understood all these things. But here one thing we are taking is the Devatas will never cast shadow. Similarly, the Devata abodes also will never cast shadow. Since all these places are the Devata abodes, even though they are there, they will never cast shadow. Now, what do you mean by that? they all become transparent. Even when sun is this side, all these mountains and Mount Meru does not block the sunlight which is supposed to come towards the American side. The India side is this side, Africa and all this side, and Eastern Asia and all this side. The back side will be North America, South America. So sunlight, which is when sun goes this side, back side of Mount Meru, the sunlight is nicely passing through all these mountains and falling on the earth globe. None of these mountains are, first of all, they are not visible. Secondly, they are all transparent. They don't cast shadow. So like that. So this is another example we can understand what is the nature of Devaloka. So with some of these examples, some of these analogies, we can get a rough idea why we can't see all these places. And now the Madhva scholars are questioning the scientists. Scientists are questioning that you show me, I will believe. So now they are saying that, okay, you are talking about, you are asking question, and I'll ask you a question. We speak of suns and solar systems within millions of galaxies. Have the scientists found at least one more solar system within our own galaxy? The scientists are talking about there are so many solar systems in so many galaxies, etc. But within our galaxy, is there any other solar system? Is there any physical evidence of the solar system? Other solar system? We also speak of galaxies of different types. Are there any galaxies seen in the southern celestial hemisphere except the two Magellanic clouds? If there is space everywhere, if there are galaxies everywhere, why there are only two galaxies in the southern side, which they call it as two Magellanic clouds? Why not more galaxies in the southern side? If not, what is beyond there in the south? Then what is beyond these two Magellanic clouds in the south side? For the information of the scientists, it may be said, what they are calling galaxy is nothing but the cluster of millions of divine vehicles. The Devatas, Gandharvas, Apsaras, Kinnaras, Kimpurushas who are living in Borloka and Swargaloka, all the places where they are living, they all appear to us like stars. Since Devatas live together, the stars are also together. So we call them as galaxy, Milky Way, nebula, etc. etc. These are all nothing but the Devata abodes, the abodes of the Devata. These are all abodes of Yakshas, Guyakas, and all other Devata-like personalities. So like that. So the one understanding is that since all of them are together, all the Devatas along with their subordinate, they're all together. So when Devatas and their subordinates are together, the Devatas, the stars, the Devatas living should be bigger. The stars which are lived by the subordinates will be smaller. Though they are all together, but some of them appear to be very big and bright. Some of them appear to be very small and twinkling. So scientists say that which are very bright are near to us, which are very small and twinkling, they are very far, light years apart, is being told by the modern science. But in reality, according to Shastra, all the stars that we see in the night time are all nothing but the abodes of the different devatas, the residents of Borlok and Svargalok. So now there is a story in Mahabharata. So after pleasing Lord Shiva, after getting Pashupatasra, by the blessings of Lord Shiva, Indra requests Arjuna to come to Svargaloka. So at that time, Indra sends his chariot along with the chariot driver Matali. And Arjuna boarded that chariot, and Arjuna was taken by Matali to Svargaloka. So on the way to Svarga, Arjuna began to observe so many chariots which are brightly shining. So then Arjuna asks Matali, so my dear Matali, what are all these people? What are these places? Who are all these people? So Matali says that these are all different chariots which are inhabited by the people who are very much pious in your abode. those Brahmanas who led a life of austerity, those Kshatriyas who lived a life of dharma and left their bodies in the battlefield, and the Vaishyas who give charities, and the Shudras who served very nicely. All those people after death, they have come to Swarga. When they come to Swarga, they will be given one star for their inhabitants. So these are all pious people, and these are all brightly shining, and you see them from the earth as the stars. So like that, Matali says. So in the Tara Rupani, so you see from the earth as Dushyante Dutimanti Vai Yan Iha. They are located here, but you see them from your place as Tarakas, like stars. These are all nothing but the residents of the heavenly inhabitants. It's like that. These are all pious persons stationed in their respective spheres, whom you have seen from the earth in the form of stars. Tara Rupani Bhutale. From Bhutala, you have seen them as Taras, but actually they are all pious people who have come to Swarga and they are living in these abodes. It's like that. So then, if all the stars are heavenly abodes, the modern science says that the star which is very close to sun or to earth is known as alpha star. But how close is that? It is at a distance of 4.22 light years. So light year is equal to 9.5 into 10 to the power of 12 kilometers. So basically, for the sunlight to travel from sun to earth, it will take 8 minutes. If you allow the sunlight to travel like that for one full year, 365.25 days, whatever distance will be traveled by that sunlight is called 1 light year. So 1 light year is equal to this much, this many kilometers, which is approximately 728 billion yojanas. And alpha star is a distance of 4.22 light years. So which is about 3 trillion yojanas. Now, pole star, every day we talk about pole star Dhruvatara, which is said to be at a distance of 433 light years. Now, what is our understanding? Bhagavatam and all. Our universal shell is located at a distance of 250 million yojanas in all directions because we are in the middle, almost. Mount Meru and Earth globe are almost in the middle of the universe. From them, the universal shell is at a distance of 250 million yojanas all directions. But before universal shell, there is something called as Lokaloka mountain, which begins at 41, which has a midpoint at 82, and which ends at 123. So like this. So from the center of Mount Meru to the Lokaloka mountain, this is 41. Outer boundary is 123.3. The middle peak is 82.2. And the height of this mountain from here to here is 3.8 only. Then what is the maximum distance from here to here? Square root of 82 square plus 4 square. Maybe 83 or 84, 85. Even worst case, we can take 100. So outer boundary is 123 or 100 and 120 we can take. That means whatever we see in the night time, all the stars and all planets, stars, constellations, everything should be well within this 120 million yojanas, not beyond that. 100 to 120 million yojanas, not more than that. But how come we are able to see something which is very far as 3 trillion yojanas? Where is this? What we can see is only, according to Bhagavatam, is only within 100 to 120 million yojanas. Then how can we see something which is at a distance of 3.072? So is it outside the Lokaloka mountain or is it outside the 7 layers of the universe? Where it is? All the stars that we see are actually in this area. This is the area in which they are located. This is clearly mentioned in the Bhagavatam 5:20:37. Sa lokatrayante parita ishwarena vihito yasmas Suryadina means Surya, Chandra, and all other grahas, nakshatras, constellations, etc. Dhruva, Apavarganam, all the way up to Dhruva. all the stars and constellations, everything well within the Dhruva Jyotirgananam. Jyotirgana means the 12 zodiac signs and also all the stars. They are called Jyotirganas. Constellations, zodiac signs, stars are all called Jyotirganas. Gabastayo Arvichinam Trilokan Avi Tanvana Na Kadachit Parachina. All these are all located. The Grahas, Suryadinam Grahas, all the way up to Dhruvaloka, including the constellations, Rashis, and stars. Everything is located within 3 lokas, and their light, they never go beyond this Loka mountain. So, like that. Na kadachit parachina, the light does not go beyond Loka mountain. That means we can't see anything that is located beyond the Loka mountain. Whatever we see, everything is well within Loka mountain. That means well within 100 to 120 million yojana, not beyond that. So, like that. Finally, in conclusion, they say that accepting the conservatives among the scientists who have built up prejudicial complexes in themselves, all other great scientists have admitted the limitations of human knowledge and have declared that the mystery about the beginning of the universe is ever a mystery for them. So, in spite of a lot of scientific advancements, some honest scientists always say that it is still a mystery. We can't decode everything, just like that. So then Srila Prabhupada talks about the same subject matter as be satisfied with the statements of authorities. Appreciate how Lord's external energy manifests the cosmos. Our experimental knowledge can neither verify nor disprove the statements of Srimad Bhagavatam. So now, this is all from Madhva's scholars, some points here and there, cross-examining, cross-questioning, and try to establish something. So we have seen some points also, what are the stars, etc., etc. But finally, do we need to accept them or not? So are there any other proofs to accept them? So now we'll take some references. In the Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata, we hear so many pastimes, so many leelas of so many people. So every pastime, every leela talks about a particular message, and also they are also connected to a particular place. So now let us see some of the pastimes from Bhagavatam and which are the places connected to them. Here is a verse comes in first canto 16th chapter about Parikshit Maharaj. After Parikshit Maharaj became the king, he traveled all over length and breadth of his kingdom. So where all he went? Bhadrashwamcha, Ketumalamcha, Bharatam, Uttarakurun. Kimpurushadini Varshani. Kimpurusha Adi means Harivarsha, Ketumala, Ilaurta, Rameka, Nirmaya. So Parikshit Maharaj could travel all these 9 Varshas of Jambudvipa. He had no impediment to travel all these places. He could travel happily. Then Pandavas, Sampada Krutavo Loko Maheshi Braturo Mahi Jambudvipadhipatyam Cha Yashasta Trividivangatam. Yudhishthira Maharaj was ruling over the entire Jambudvipa. He was the king of entire Jambudvipa. The whole Jambudvipa was ruled by Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yes, he was the ruler. Parikshit Maharaj also ruler of the entire Jambudvipa. They were ruling. Ruling means they could go all these places. Even Mahabharata says that the Pandavas' birth took place in the greater Himalayas. During Rajashri sacrifice, Arjuna went all the way up to Harivarsha. And when Arjuna went to Harivarsha, the leaders of all these Varshas, they came to Arjuna and they said, why are you coming? So Arjuna said, no, our brother want to perform Rajashri sacrifice. So I came to accept your acceptance. They all said, yes, we all accept Yudhishthira working to take all these gifts. So Arjuna brought so much wealth, he got the name Dhananjaya. So like that, Vanavas and Sargurahana also, everything has connection to this. See, when Pandu Maharaj, when he killed a great sage, when he cursed him, if you ever unite with your wife, you will die. Then he renounced his kingdom. He told his elder brother to take care of the kingdom, but he went to the greater Himalayas. He was living with his 2 wives in the greater Himalayas. So at one point of time, all the sages were going to the Ilavrita Varsha, Mount Meru. So Pandu Maharaj also wanted to go there. The sages told you cannot come. Pandu Maharaj asked why? Because you have not completed your debts, runas. How come? Because you are not begotten children, your Pitruna is still pending. So Pandu Maharaj was feeling sad. That time Kunti Maharaj told, no, don't worry. Durvasa Muni gave me one blessing, so we can have children. So they had 5 Pandavas. So Pandavas were born in the greater Himalayas. They were taken care nicely. Then eventually Pandavas came home after Pandu's demise. Then Pandavas were given Kanda Prastha. They made it in the Prastha. They performed Raja sacrifice. For that time, Arjuna went all the way up to Harivarsha. Then Rajesh sacrifice is over. Then in the Vanavas, Vyasadev told Arjuna to go to greater Himalayas, Kailash, and please Lord Shiva and get Pashupatasra, which will be useful for the battle. So Arjuna went and performed austerities and please fought with Lord Shiva and pleased Lord Shiva and got Pashupatasra. And then he went to Swarga. From there he went to heaven, being requested by Indra to learn heavenly weapons from the Devatas. So during that time, other Pandavas, unable to stay away from Pandu, were unable to stay away from Arjuna. So they all wanted to go near to Arjuna, where he was performing austerities. So in order to go to Upper Himalaya, they cannot go just like that. So Bhima called Ghatochkat, and Ghatochkat called some of his Rakshasa friends. They carried the Pandavas to our place to Greater Himalayas. Ghatochkat carried Draupadi, and other Pandavas were carried by other Rakshasas and some of the Brahmanas also. So they went there. So one day Draupadi found a lotus flower. She said, Bhima, please get me a few more. So Bhima went in that direction. On the way, he saw a monkey, old monkey. So he told monkey, get away from the way. Monkey said, no, I'm old, I cannot go. You just lift me aside. So Hanumanji tried to, Bhima tried to lift, but eventually understood it is Hanumanji. Then he requested Hanumanji that please tell me where I can find these flowers and all other so many things, but especially about the flowers. Hanumanji told that actually you have come to the far end of Bharata Varsha. Beyond this, it belongs to Vanaras. That area belongs to Kimpurcha Varsha. You better don't go that side. That is not meant for you, not required for you to go there. So Hanumanji showed the direction where you can find the garden with flowers and all, lake and flowers. So Bhima went there. He collected some flowers. He swam across the lake and he was drinking the water. Yakshas came and he fought with Yakshas. Then when Yakshas were getting killed by Bhima, they were shouting loudly. Then Yudhishthira heard them and came and begged forgiveness from Kuvera. They lived there for so much time in the heavenly, in that upper Himalayas. For 5 years, they lived there in the upper Himalayas. Then Arjuna came and they all returned to again down from heaven. Even when 5 Pandavas were in Swarga when they were going back, in the greater Himalayas only one by one falling down. First Draupadi, then Nakula, Sadeva, Arjuna, Bhima. Finally, only Yudhishthira Maharaj alone went to Swarga in the self-same body from upper Himalayas. So like that, whole life of Pandavas is revolving around greater Himalaya. So then, in the Bhagavatam, we see some other pastimes connection to this pastime. So, when Veerabhadra was produced by Lord Shiva, when Sati burnt herself, so Veerabhadra came and destroyed the Daksha Yajna and cut off the head of Daksha and killed him. And all the Devatas and Brahmanas who were injured, they went to Brahma. Brahma was taking them to Kailash. On the way, while going to Kailash, on the way, they saw Alakapuri, the city of Kuvera, and also Saugandhika forest. Saugandhika forest is the lotus forest where Bhima was collecting all the flowers. That is known as Saugandhika forest here. And also, when Uttama was killed by one of the Yaksha, it was Dhruva Maharaj who went all the way to the Yakshapuri, the abode of Yakshas, that is known as Alakapuri, in the greater Himalayas, Himodronium. He came there and he saw the Yakshas, city of the Yakshas. So that is there. And then, after ruling over the entire Bhumandala for sufficient amount of time, 100 celestial years, Dhruva Maharaj renounced everything and then went to Bhadrakashram. In Badrikashram, he was performing severe austerities. That's where the airplane came and took Dhruva to the abode of Lord Vishnu. So he went to Badrikashram to perform austerities. So in that way. So we have discussed about all these pastimes in relation to these great Himalayas. not our Himalayas. These are these Himalayas. So it is here in this Kailash foothills, Arjuna performed tapasya to please Lord Shiva and to get Pashpatasra. It is here Pandavas were traveling around and lived for 5 years. It is here only Alkapuri, which is very close to Kailash. Bhima fought with the Yakshas, Dhruva fought with the Yakshas, all those things. And it is somewhere here, Badrikashrami, that is where Dhruva performed austerities. Pandavas also spent some time. So like that. Then Kardama Muni, to please his wife, created the aerial mansion. In the aerial mansion, they were traveling in these places. Entire Illa of the Varsha, they were traveling. All these places around Meru and all, they were traveling. So in that way. Dronishu, Anaga, Saka, Marashu, Sobagasya. This is na in that way, this one. Kanaka Indra. Kardama, along with his wife Devahuti, traveled in the valleys of Mount Meru in the aerial mansion. And then, 9th canto, first chapter says that at one point of time, Sudyumna and his friends unknowingly entered into this area, this forest area, and they all became female. That is mentioned here. Sukumara Vanam Meru Adastad Praviveshaha Apashyat Striyam Atmanam Ashwam Cha Vadvam Rupa. At Meru's food, Sudyumna entered Sukumara forest. He saw that he had become a woman and his horse became a mare. The male horse became female. So like that. Then finally, it is in the upper Himalayas. It is in this place. So many other pastimes also took place. What are those pastimes? Mother Parvati performed severe austerities and married Lord Shiva there. It is there Ganeshji was born. It is there Skanda, Kartikeya was born afterwards. It is there Ravana got humiliation. Ravana wanted to uproot the Kailash mountain, but he was humiliated by Lord Shiva. It is there Bhagirath Maharaj performed to please Mother Ganga, to please Lord Shiva, to bring Ganga down. It is here Ganga held by Lord Shiva in his jata. It is here in this upper Himalaya, there is a place called Kalatagram, where Naranara Rishis are performing tapasya from the beginning of the day of Brahma. It is here Lord Kalki will appear at the end of the current Kali Yuga. It is here one king from Surya Vamsha, known as Maru, one king from Devapi, known as Chandra Vamsha, are performing austerities now. Since Kali Yuga monarchy will not go on, so they are performing austerities during Kali Yuga. When next Satya Yuga will come, these two people will come out of their meditation and they marry and they become kings and they rule over the entire Bhumandala during Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali Yugas the next time. So like that. Then it is adjacent to this greater Himalayas, Daksha performed his yajna. But if you go to Haridwar, nearby Haridwar, there is a place known as Kankal. And they say that here only Daksha performed yajna. Here only Daksha's head got gagat. Here only the head was thrown to sacrifice. Here Sati performed, Sati burnt herself with fire. Like that they say. But actually the entire pastime took place in the greater Himalayas, at the foothills of the greater Himalayas. So what is this Kankal is nothing but a replica of the actual pastime place. So like that. Similarly, Vyasdev is residing in the greater Himalayas. But a replica of his home is shown in our place, in our Himalayas also. We call it as Vyasa Gufa. In the greater Himalayas, Narana Rishis perform tapasya. In our Himalayas, we have the Badrinath deity. That is Lord Badrinath. So whatever is actually there in the greater Himalayas, its replica is there in our Himalayas. In the greater Himalayas, we have Lord Shiva personally. In our Himalayas, we have Manas Sarovar, Lord Shiva's deity. So like that. And also, Madhvacharya, after writing commentary on Bhagavad Gita, he went to our Himalayas. He recited the entire Gita commentary in front of Badrinath. In the night when he was sleeping, one voice came and told, come to me, I want to talk to you. The next morning, Madhvacharya went to upper Himalayas, where he met Vyasdev. Then Vyasdev told, okay, now you wrote a commentary on Bhagavad Gita, go back and write commentary on Brahma Sutras. So Madhvacharya wrote a Brahma Sutras commentary and preached far and wide. Again he went. Vyasa became happy. He told, okay, now you write commentary on Mahabharata. So Madhva came back and wrote commentary on Mahabharata, but did not go. But in one sense, 2 times Madhvacharya also went to upper Himalayas and came back in the recent lines. And then when Sugriva was sending the monkeys for searching Mother Sita in 4 directions, he was telling in the monkeys which are going in the eastern direction. If in the eastern direction, if you go, you have to cross 7 Dvipas, 7 oceans, finally Swarna Bhumi, and then Vajralepa, Jadrupashila. When you come to this point, there you will see Shesha holding the entire Bhumandala. Then come back. For those monkeys which are supposed to go towards north, in the north he says that after crossing Jambudipa in the saltwater ocean, you will see 3 cities made up of gold, silver, and brass. Then you come back, don't go. For west also, if you see the sea, come back. For south, our Hanumanji, Angada, our team members, he says that if you go towards south, after crossing Gandamadana mountain, you will see the ocean, saltwater ocean. In that ocean, there are so many islands. One among them is Lanka. And Lanka is the capital of Ravan. So you might find Sita there only. If you don't find her, go downward south further. Therein you will come across Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Padala. Search all these places. And if you go further, there comes hellish planetary systems. And that is not meant for us. So don't go there. As soon as you see the hell, come back. Don't go further. Like that, Sugriva was telling about all these different directions to friend monkey parties. So he knew Ramayana also talked about all these places in one. So now, when sons of Sagar Maharaj, okay, no, not that. So here we have all these different kings. Swayambhu, Manu, Uttanapada, Dhruva, Anga, Vena, Prutu, all these personalities were ruling over the entire Bhumandala. King Maruta was also ruling over the entire Bhumandala because he was called Chakravarti. Ambarish Maharaj was also ruling over the entire Bhumandala. Sapta Dvipa Adivati Mahim. King Mandata was also ruling over the entire Bhumandala consisting of 7 Dvipas. King Sagara is Chakravarti. Lord Rama, Bhuvaneshwara, is also Lord of the entire Bhumandala. Puru is also Lord of the Bhumandala. King Bhagiratha is also Chakravarti. Kartavir Arjuna is also Saptadipeshwara. So all these personalities in the past, they were ruling over the entire Bhumandala. Though Yudhishthira Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj could only rule over Jambudvipa, but these personalities were able to rule over the whole Bhumandala. So then, therefore yesterday we discussed about this past time. While sons of Sagara Maharaj were searching for the last horse, which was stolen by Indra, the father told, your 60,000 sons dig 1 yojana down below the Bhumandala. So they went downward all the way here, 60,000 yojanas. They could not find anything. They went back to father and told, my dear father, we could not find. The father told, dig further in all different directions. They went in all 8 directions. They happened to meet all these 8 elephants. And they asked, you people have seen a person coming with a white horse? And they told in an enigmatic way. And they all came back and assembled. Now they understood that they need to go downward, but a little bit on the Ishana direction, so that they can find the horse. They came down all the way up to Patala. It is here they found the horse in the ashram of Lord Kapila. So they went all the way up to Patala Loka also, sons of Sagar Maharaj. Then, in the Mahabharata, if you see, after Pandavas came back to Hastinapur, Bhima was given poison, they were thrown into Ganga. So later on, following this path, Bhagirath Maharaj brought Ganga all the way up to Patala Loka. So Ganga passes through this tunnel. So when Bhima was thrown into the tunnel of Ganga, following the path of Ganga, Bhima was also came all the way up to Rasatala Loka, not Rasatala, Patala Loka. It is in Patala Loka, other snakes are biting him and they removed his poison. So Bhima became conscious. And Vasuki, the king of the Patala Loka residents, gave him a beverage, drinking which he became 1,000 elephants powerful. That happened here only. Even when Arjuna was in Vanavas for 12 years, Vanavas, because he entered into the inner chamber of Draupadi when she was with Yudhishthira Maharaj. During those 12 years, he came to Kanyakumari. So while taking bath in the Kanyakumari, one lady, Kulubi, became attracted to Arjuna. She dragged down Arjuna all the way up to Patala Loka, Rasatala Loka. In Rasatala Loka, she married Arjuna. Eventually, she gave birth to a son also. And in Ramayana, at one point of time, Meghanath released a Samohan Astra because of which Arjuna Rama and Lakshman fell unconscious, and all other wanderers also fell unconscious. Immediately, Indrajit took Rama and Lakshman and took them all the way up to Rasatala Loka. They were hidden in a cave. It was Bhima, it's not Bhima, Hanumanji, who became conscious and he searching after Rama and Lakshmana came all the way up to Rasatala Loka and killed all the Rakshasas and brought Ram Lakshman back to Lanka. And then he went to Himalayas. He brought that Gandhamadana mountain with Sanjivani Bhuti and everyone got revived. So that Hanumanji went all the way up to Rasatala. So like this, there are different instances in the history. The different people had access to different places. Some had full, some had partially, etc. So finally, okay, here is one more thing. In Ramayana, when Hanumanji was jumping across from Mahendragiri to Lanka, on the way the ocean god tells Mainaka mountain, oh Mainaka, it was Indra who kept you at the closure of this tunnel. This tunnel, because this tunnel is there, all the asuras used to come up and cause trouble to the people on the Bhumandala. So Indra was requested to do something. So Indra kept Mainaka in this place to block this tunnel so that no one will come up. So as Mainaka was blocking the tunnel, as Hanumanji was jumping across, Sagara, the ocean god is telling that, oh Mainaka, please go rise up and give some place to rest for Hanumanji because he's doing our Devakarya. So she came up, she requested Hanumanji to rest for a while. Hanumanji said, no, I cannot wait now. I simply touch you and then go ahead. That is the Mainaka mountain which is guarding this tunnel, which is told in the Ramayana here. Standing at the entrance of Patala, which is difficult to measure, by covering it completely, you are stopping them from rising up. So this Mainaka mountain stopping all the from rising up. So it is like that. So in this sense, so what we can understand in a sense, in the past, people were able to access all these places, but now we can't because access is getting limited as the time progresses. Yuga to Kali Yuga. What all will reduce? Dharma, Satyam, Saucham, Kshama, Daya, Bhala, Ayu, Balam, Smriti, all these things will reduce in time as time progresses. Thus, in essence, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, the kings were able to rule over the entire Bhumandala. In Dwapar Yuga, they were able to rule over Jambudipa. In Kali Yuga, after Parikshit Maharaj, starting from Janmeji onwards, they could only rule over Bharatavarsha, later on Bhartakanda alone. And currently within Bhartakanda, small portions. We don't have so much capacity to rule over everywhere, with some exceptions, but like that. So this is about the story behind all these places. Though they were there, in the past, people were able to access, people were able to go, travel all these places, but now we can't go because currently we are in Kali Yuga. We are limited in all aspects. That's why we can't see them and we can't go there. But we are able to see the planets and stars which are very far. Why? We need to see them because by looking at them, we can make Panchanga. By following Panchanga, we can actually purify our own existence. We can help ourselves to go back home back to Godhead. Without Panchanga, we cannot. Like for example, next week we have the festivals such as Rasaptami, Advaitacharya's appearance day. Next Bhishmashtami, the disappearance day of Bhishma Dev. And then following that Ekadashi, then Varaha Dwadashi, then Nityan Trayadashi, and so many things are there. How we are able to say today is Varaha Dwadashi, today is Ekadashi and all? It is based on Panchanga. And Panchanga is made based on the position of the stars in the sky. So if we don't see them, how can we make the Panchanga? That's why some of them are seen to us, shown to us so that we can see them and we can make some of the important that are required for us. So like that. And that is required to guide our life's events in proper manner for the purpose of purification. So this is the essence behind all these things. All these places were there and people were accessing all these places in the past, but now, right now, unfortunately, we are in Kali Yuga, we can't access them. So any questions till now in relation to this discussion? So this is like conclusion of this section. Yeah, yes, Prabhu, Balram Prabhu.
Prabhuji, where was this Ravan's Lanka?
Ravan's Lanka is surrounding Jambudvipa. in the saltwater ocean surrounding that place.
Okay, not in these Patal and all that, right?
Ah,
Not
no, not Patalandal, they're inside the Bhumandala. Lanka is in the saltwater ocean.
So then Hanumanji is facing that demon who is guarding this pipe of this Patal and all those planets. Why he has to go there?
Because Rama was there, no? He was in Lord Rama and Lakshmana were unconscious and they were kept in the secret place within this Ratharoloka. So Hanumanji went all the way to bring them back.
Oh, okay, that is okay. Okay, Abhishek, thank you.
Because
Got
they
it.
were unconscious, no? They fell unconscious. They cannot come on their own. Only Hanumanji was immune to the weapons thrown by Indrajit. Everyone else became unconscious.
Right. Thank you, Abhishek.
Yeah. Amarendra Prabhu.
तो जी ये जो और सारे जो प्लैनेट्स हैं जो हमें दिखते हैं, तो क्या जैसे आपने कहा कि जो प्लैनेट्स हैं या जो देवता के साथ आते हैं वो हमें दिख सकते हैं नहीं दिख सकते, तो और जो प्लैनेट्स हमें दिखते हैं कैसे दिखते हैं? सन मून लाइक आपने बोला पंचांग के लिए, तो किसकी इच्छा से? भगवान की इच्छा से, उन देवताओं की इच्छा से, कि हमारे लिए मतलब किसके उससे
See, what do we see? Is only some light coming out of those respective abodes. We can't see them. Just like if you are traveling in a flight, when you look downward, you will see some mountains, some water bodies, some trees, and some buildings, etc. But you don't see the clarity. Everything clearly is not visible. And especially if you see in the night time, you can't even see all those things. You only see some lights. If there are some lights, you see the lights. If there is no light, you can't see anything in the night time. So like that. So what do we see? The sun, moon, and all is only the light emitting from them, not the abode with the people. So to see the abode with the people, we need to have the Divya Chakshu. Otherwise, we can't see them. So like that.
But we are seeing the planets, the whole planets like sun planet, moon planet, or Mars planet.
That what do you see is only the outer surface. You are not seeing the see no what is moon, what is sun and all we'll discuss now. Afterwards, you ask this question. See, for example, I said Delhi. What is Delhi?
It's a surface, it's a person, capital of India, so many person
Delhi is
lives
a
here.
city filled with so many people. So I've been to Delhi means I've been to Delhi and I've been interacted with the people of Delhi.
Yes,
Delhi is not simply some roads and buildings. Delhi means the people in Delhi.
yes, Praji.
Like that.
And Praji, the scientists, where the scientists land up and they stole some lands, some stones or something else, then where their spacecraft land of Praji?
That we will discuss afterwards when we come to the code moon, that time we'll discuss.
Okay.
Any other questions from other devotees?
Praji, can I ask one more question?
Ah.
How they used to go from one place to other place, because there is so much vast sea probably by their horse chariot or by some spacecraft they were also having in our past Vedic time. How they
Srila
used to travel?
Madhvacharya in his comment to Mahabharata says that Arjuna's chariot can travel on the land surface, can travel upon the water surface, can travel in the ether also. The chariot given by Agni to Arjuna can travel in all different conditions. On the surface of the earth also, on the surface of the water also, in ether also, in air also it can travel. So that's how Arjuna went all the way up to Harivarsha without any effort. The chariot would fly in the air. So like that.
Yes, they were also having different type of aeroplanes. like you just said. Okay. And how he was able to approach all the persons when he went to Swarga, Prabhuji? He
Who?
fight for all. King Dashrath also fight or in Devasur Sagnam, and Arjuna also went to heaven for fighting for Indra with devils.
Because
How he
Indra himself invited, na? Indra himself invited Arjuna to Swarga. If he is inviting, he obviously will receive and he will spend time with Arjuna and all. That's what I told, na?
so
When Devatas wanted to show themselves to us, we can see them without any issue.
and in Trisanku story they don't want to show their about to Trisanku or they
Ah,
don't allow to live there.
because he's not qualified to come there. So they did not allow him inside.
Okay.
Ganga Shakti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, from all these studies, what I can grasp is that um, those who lived before us were far more advanced and obviously spiritually much more exalted and elevated.
Mm.
Therefore, it's very difficult for somebody like me to even try to understand all of this. So my question is that now that we are building a Vedic planetarium, uh, this kind of knowledge, which is dependent on basically on faith, if you told me all of this 10, 12 years back when I was new to Krishna consciousness, I would definitely not believe it. So, when we are building that planetarium, how are we expecting people to accept all of this? Because until unless they have faith on Bhagavatam, they will not be able to understand it, or they will not be able to appreciate it, even accept it.
No, it's not about faith. It's about culture. We hear about Mughals in our school studies. We hear about so many kings and all these things. So generally, whatever we hear, we believe. We believe not because we have heard. We believe because we had faith on the people who are speaking to us. We had complete trust on the teachers. That's why whatever the teacher said, we accepted as it is. Same way, since childhood, if we were exposed to Rama and Mahabharata, that would have become our culture. Then whose fault is this? Whose mistake?
Ours.
Our means who are those ours? The parents.
Yeah.
The parents are not exposing their children to proper culture. So to whichever culture they are exposed, they accept it. It is default.
Right.
And so it is like that. That's why I quoted all these examples. We hear about all these personalities' names like Dhruva Maharaj, Lord
Yes.
Rama. So they were ruling over the entire Bhumandala that we never studied.
Right.
For we may think that okay, Rama ruled. Okay, first of all, accepting Rama itself is very difficult. And even if somebody accepts Rama, okay, Rama might be ruling Ayodhya only.
Mm.
It ends there only. It is not beyond that.
Yes, Prabhuji, because all of this that we are studying now is so different from what we have been taught in schools. So, considering that it is dialectically opposite to what we've studied, and like you're saying, absolutely, it's our fault. But what is rampant is the modern education, the way we've been taught 9 planets and this and that and constellation and everything. For people like us who've been educated in this kind of an environment, for them to accept this, that this is actually how it is, um, looks like a little difficult.
That is the problem. We are in India, but we are not in Indian culture. We are born in Indian land, but we are brought up with Western culture. So that's the problem. But anyway, better late than never. So one day, at least before we die, we should. So
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
okay. Any other devotees? Any other questions? So if there are, yes, Prabhu, Balram Prabhu.
Prabhuji, everything is happening in the greater Himalayas. Has something happened in our Himalayas or nothing? It seems that everything is on the greater Himalayas.
Not everything. Some of the pastimes which I mentioned, they were happening in the Great Himalayas.
Okay.
So it's like that. Of course, there are many more events happened, but I will not discussed everything, but a few details which are very evidently we can say. So I put them in the slides.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So that was all about Bhumandala. So now we'll try to study the remaining 13 lokas in these chapters 21 to 26. We'll just begin today. We have some more time. We'll do it to begin today, and we'll do the remaining discussion the next week, coming week. So we started our discussion with this. So till now we were discussing about the Bhumandala alone, and now we'll discuss the remaining 13 planetary systems. So which was being divided by our Brahmaji. So till now we were discussing on the upper surface of the Bhumandala. And we also touched about other things a little bit here and there, but now we'll try to do everything systematically. So from the upper surface of the Bhumandala, as you go upward, what comes one after the other is what is the discussion in the Bhagavatam. That's the first thing. As you go above the surface of the Bhumandala is sun. The sun is situated vertically in the middle of the universe. That means 250 million yojanas on either side, up and down. He is situated in the middle of the Bhuvarloka, which is in the middle of the Bhumandala and Sargaloka. Bhuloka and Sargaloka. So there is Bhuloka, there is Bhuvarloka. See, for example, this one is like Bhumandala. Above Bhumandala, there is Bhuvarloka. Above that, there is Sargaloka. And sun is located just above Bhumandala in the middle of the Bhuvarloka. Bhuvarloka is about 2 lakh yojanas. The total thickness of the Bhuvarloka is 2 lakh yojanas. And sun is located exactly in the middle of the Bhuvarloka. That means 1 lakh yojanas from the upper surface of the Bhumandala and 1 lakh yojanas from the bottom surface of the Sargaloka is in the middle. So like that. The sun, with the master of heat, heats up and lights up the 3 lokas. Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Sargaloka will get heat and light from sun only. Sun is also called Martanda because he enters into Mruta Anda, dead universe, and gives life to all of us. Just imagine if there is no sun not there continuously for 1 month. That means there is no sunlight at all. Sun himself is not there. Maybe in Delhi you might have an experience of entire day being cloudy, especially in the winter season. But that cloudy also sun is there in the sky. But still it is, though it is cloudy, but it's not completely dark. But if it is only midnight throughout the day and night for 30 days, what will happen to all of us? I don't think so anyone will survive beyond few days. All of us will die. It is because of sun only all of us are living. So all the living entities in the entire universe combined together are called Hiranyagarbha. Everyone is able to live because of the presence of sun. That means the Hiranyagarbha means all of us are living because sun. So sun is called as Hiranyagarbha. And it is because of sun only the divisions are made, the distinctions are made. Okay, this is east, this is west, this is north, this is south, and this is Bhuloka, this is Bhurloka, this is Vargaloka, this is Ataraloka, Pataralokas. All these distinctions are all because of sun, are in reference to sun. And sun is considered to be the eye of all living entities. I am life, because sun is the presentity of I. And it is because of sun only all of us are living. So these are all different attributes of the sun. And finally, every day we hear about, some of us chant also, some of us we hear in the temples. In the cassettes, Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bargo Devasati Mahi Dhiyo Na Prachodayat. The meaning is, The sun who is maintaining Bhuloka, Borloka, Swargaloka by his sunlight, let me meditate upon him. Let me offer obeisances to him 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. So that's how one expresses one's gratitude to sun, because he's maintaining all of us in all respects. So like that. And then sun is traveling in his chariot. So there is a discussion about the chariot of the sun. Okay, not here. The sun's chariot has only one wheel connected to an axle whose length is 15.75 million yojanas, which is the radius of Mansutra mountain. On one side of this axle is connected to the lower part of Meru. Other side, the axle is connected to the wheel, and the wheel is resting located just above Manasutra mountain, and the wheel continuously rotates on Manasutra mountain like the wheel of an oil pressing machine. Ravirata Chakram Taila Yantra Chakravad Brahmam Manasottara Girau Paribhramanti. Taila Yantra Chakravad means the wheel of oil pressing machine. Like that it travels. So this is the Bhumandala. Till now we discussed this is Manasutra mountain. This is our Mount Meru, Parthakanda. Here is the pole star. Here the chariot wheel located just above the Manasutra mountain. Here is the chariot body. Here is the axle. So one side of the axle comes to the base of the Mount Meru. Other side is connected to the wheel. And keeping this as the center, the wheel continuously rotates in a circular fashion. So like that. As in oil pressing machine, the first axle is attached to a second axle, which is 1/4 as long, which is connected at a location which is opposite to saltwater ocean. The upper end of the second axle is connected to Dhruva, like that. This is second axle. One side is connected to Dhruva, other side is connected to the first axle, just above saltwater ocean. So with the help of the second axle, Dhruva Maharaj, who is living in Dhruvaloka, controls the motion of sun god. In addition to this, there are 2 ropes coming from Dhruvaloka to the horses of the chariot. So when Dhruva pulls these 2 ropes, the chariot goes slowly toward the Dhruvaloka. That means it is slowly going upward and slowly coming inward also. For 6 months, Dhruva pulls the chariot towards him. For 6 months, Dhruva loosens the chariot. So in those 6 months, the chariot goes this side. In other 6 months, the chariot comes this side. So like that, we can see the chariot going upward also, coming inward also. So that is what happens. So this is the oil pressing machine, traditional oil pressing machine. The groundnuts, sunflower, they will be brought and put in this, and the bull will be moving around, and the oil would come out like this. So this is exactly like Mount Meru. This is like the first axle. This is like the second axle. Here is the pole star. This is the traditional oil pressing machine. Based on this, later on when machinery came, they did like this. So right now we have sophisticated machinery and all, but they are the old machinery. In the villages, people used to extract oil with this kind of arrangement. And later on, the machinery things like this were there. Now anyway, everything is a different thing only. Now we only have the refined oil. We don't get the fresh normal oil, gunny oil like this. Srila Sridhar says that the sun's chariot wheel rotates at a height of 50,000 yojanas on a surface made flat by the wind. The chariot wheel never touches the mountain. So mountain is here. The chariot wheel is at a height of 50,000 yojanas. The mountain itself is 10,000. And then from the base of the chariot to the place where sun is sitting, from here to here, it is about another 40,000 yojanas. In total, the total height of sun from the surface of the Bhumandala here, where it is located, is about 1 lakh yojanas. 10,000 plus 50,000 plus 40,000. Total is 1 lakh yojana. This is the height at which the sun's chariot is located, or sun is located. And sometime back, just now I said, because Dhruva pulls the sun towards him, the sun seems to be going over a period of year toward the Dhruva. As a result of that, sun is going upward also, sun is going inward also, sun also goes backward also, backward and front. And in a year, sun seems to be moving in this box, in this cubical box. So height is about 3.6 million yojanas, in and out is about 3.6 million yojanas, and aage piche is another, front and back is also another 0.9 million yojanas. This is the area in which we see sun throughout the year. And this area is called as Rataneda. So all these things are indicated in the Bhagavatam in relation to the chariot sun. That's why we say na apogi, perigi, etc. etc. Sometimes in summer sun comes close to us, in winter sun goes far away. That is all because of this only. So when sun is below and far distant is in January. When sun is somewhere here very close to earth is in June, July. So like that. And the sun's chariot is driven by 7 horses. The 7 horses are named after 7 Vedic meters. Gayatri, Brihati, Ushnik, Jagati, Trishtu, Panushtu, and Pankti, etc. And all these 7 horses are connected to a oak whose length is 0.9 million yojanas. Aruna, the chariot driver who was driving the chariot, was supposed to look front side and drive the chariot, but actually wanted to have darshan of sun god. He always looks behind at sun while driving into the front side, continuously having the darshan of sun god. And there are 60,000 Valakilya sages who are standing opposite to sun and continue and flying backward and continuously offering prayers to the glorification of sun god. And in the sun's chariot, we have sun god, sun's wives, children, friends, relatives, brahmanas, all the other people are there. And also, the activities of the sun's chariot are taken care by 7 groups of people. So one group are Gandharvas. They constantly sing for the pleasure of sun. Other group is Apsaras. They dance for the pleasure of sun. Nagas, they bind the chariot. They take care of the maintenance of the chariot always. Yakshas, they take care of the horses. Rakshasas, they push the chariot from behind. And so many sages, such as Valakilyas, they constantly sing Vedic hymns for the pleasure of sun god. And finally, the different devatas, they manage different affairs in the entire sun's chariot. So, in the location of sun, sun is a chariot, and sun god is there, and all these different personalities also there in the chariot. But since sun god is emitting sunlight from himself, we see from far distant sun as the glowing object, a fiery ball. We see him as a fiery ball from our place. That is because sun is emitting intense light and heat. But in his original place, he is actually it is actually a chariot, and he is living in that chariot, and all the different people are also living in the same chariot. So like that. And next, if the chariot wheel is located at a distance of 15.75, then what is the distance of sun to us? Hanuman Chalisa says, Tulsidas ji is writing in Hanuman Chalisa, he mentioned the distance between the earth and sun. In one of the Doha, he says that, Tumharo mantra vibhishana mana, Lankeshwara bayasab jagjana, Juga sahasra yojana parabanu, lilyo tahi madurafal jano. Just like Hanumanji jumped across Lanka, across the ocean to go to Lanka. Similarly, in his childhood, Hanumanji jumped across all the way up to sun god. How far is the sun? Sun was located at a distance of Juga Sahasra Yojana. In Sanskrit, Juga means 1 Chaturyuga. Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali, all the 4 put together is called Yuga. So in Devata years, 1 Yuga will continue for, 1 Chaturyuga will continue for 12,000 Devata years. So Yuga stands for 12,000. Sahasra stands for 1,000. 12,000 into 1,000 will be 12 million yojanas. That is the distance between Earth and Sun. And the distance between the Mount Meru and the chariot wheel is 15.75. So now, when we convert the yojanas into miles, one yojana is 8 miles. It will be 96 million miles. When you convert the miles into kilometers, 1 mile is equal to 1.6 kilometers. It is around 153.6 million kilometers. According to modern observations, the distance between Earth and Sun is 1 astronomical unit, which is 150 million kilometers. Here, the Sanskrit word says 153 because when you convert this 150 into yojanas, it may become some 11.5678, something like that. But to write that in Sanskrit would be very difficult. It may not be able to follow the grammatical rules. So in Sanskrit, many times they take nearby round figure. So the 11.56, the nearby round figure is 12. So they have mentioned 12. Same way, the pi value we use say that 3.151, 3.1456. That is the pi value. But in Vedic literature, they use pi is equal to 3. Since though it is 3.1456, they use 3 only. Okay, 3 the nearby round figure, it's okay. The approximate value will get it. So like that, the Vedic literatures generally they use the nearby round figure, the closest round figure. So like that, procedure has to use nearby round figure, which is very easy to remember because of the use. So like that. And finally, the sun is the majestic personality traveling in his own chariot. And in his glorification, we chant this prayer always. Suresh Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasa Suramur Rajishteja. Yasyagneya Brahmaji Samurta Kalachakro Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bajami. Sun God in his majestic position always traveling along with the Kalachakra by the order of the Supreme Lord to maintain this entire universe. So like that. So these are the some of the details about sun. So what is sun? Who is sun? Where is it located? How far is the sun's chariot? What are the different details of the chariot? Who are living there? So etc. etc. Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Any questions?
Prabhuji, a small question. Can you please show the slide where the sun chariot is there and the bow? Yes, Prabhuji, I'm little confused. Like we said that now from the Meru mountain, it's a 15.7 point what is this? Yugas. MY means stands for
Million yojanas.
million yojanas, right? So this much yojanas, and you are saying that the sun will go near. So it's like when we see the orbit like this, so it's revolving. You said that sometimes it's like this, sometimes it's like this.
No,
So
not like that. Not like that. Today it is like this.
this,
And Dhruva is here. Dhruva pulls. So sun is going like this, and he will be travel here. He's going little bit above, and his orbit becomes smaller. He's further going above, orbit further becomes smaller. Further going above, further becomes smaller. Like finally, the orbit becomes like this. Very close orbit. In January, the orbit is very far and to the bottom. In July, the orbit is very small and above. 6 months is gradually going up, and 6 months is gradually coming down. Like that. Yes, Prabhu. Daruka Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, my question is this, that the light which we see, because of which we are able to use our eyes, is because of the sun god, that the light is coming from him, his body, or there is something else?
No, it is coming from sun god only.
Okay.
So we don't need to say whether it is coming from his body or what. It is coming from him.
Okay.
Whether it may be coming from his body or it may be coming from because of his mystic potency or whatever it is coming from him. It is coming due to him.
Okay. And rest all our associates are on the chariot which Aruna is driving.
Yes.
Okay. And we also hear, Prabhuji, in that Lord Hanuman got the education from Lord Sun.
Yes.
And here we see that you were mentioning Vilikhyas were offering prayer.
Valakilyas.
Valkhilyas, yes. And they
60,000
were
souls.
also traveling inverted way.
Backward way.
Backward way. So the Hanuman position was parallel to them, that when he was getting the education from him.
Yes, it can be.
And one more question, Puji, I have. What was the position of Lord Surya while this Asura Ravan captured all the Devatas? Where he was, because that main Devatas, we could say that what he made the stairs of them, and then he was climbing on his Singhasam. So were these activities stopped that time?
See, not like that. There is a planet, from our point of view, planet, where here reality there is a chariot which is revolving around. In that chariot, there is a person. Even sometimes when Indra calls Surya God for a meeting, the sun planet is revolving all around. But sun god might have gone to Amaravati to meet Indra. The abode will continue on a autopilot mode, but the person can go. That means the sun god will empower the sun's chariot to produce the heat and light and continue traveling, but he himself will go and meet Indra in Swargalok and come back. Devatas have this ability. They can do it.
Got it, Puji. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. So these are some details about sun. So for one of our Brahmachari Yatra, we have been to Shrungeri Mutt. So in that Shrungeri Mutt temple, in one of the corners, they have kept this chariot of sun god because they are Panchopasakas. During Brahmosa festival, they will take out this sun's chariot and they worship Surya. Surya is also one of the deity to worship. So this is the chariot, sun's chariot. Here is sun god. Here we have Aruna. Here there are 7 horses. Here the chariot wheel. This is the chariot wheel. This is the chariot body. This is sun god. Here is Aruna. So now you can see these are the 7 horses. This is the chariot wheel. They kept the wheel below the chariot body. But in our Bhagavatam, according to our understanding, we have kept the wheel aside. It is supposed to be the side only, sideways. The body of the chariot should be inside. But they, because of the maybe some construction reason and all, they kept chariot wheel below the chariot. So during the Brahmosa festival, they take out, they decorate it nicely, and then they worship sun god. So in that. So after the discussion about sun, then Bhagavatam talks about moon. So with respect to Bhumandala, as you go up, you got sun. Then you go further up, you get the moon. Evam Chandrama Arkagabastibhya Uparistal Laksha Yojanato Upalabhyamano. With respect to sun is producing sun rays in all direction. But especially in relation to those sun rays which are coming to Earth globe. With respect to those sun rays, the moon is located at a height of 1 lakh yojanas. So the moon is not located above sun here, somewhere here. Not like that. With respect to the sun rays which are coming to us, the moon is located at a height of 1 lakh yojanas. But the moon's orbit is very close to Earth. So when you see from vertical height point of view, with respect to the surface of the Bhumandala, first comes sun at a height of 1 lakh yojanas. Then with respect to the plane of sun, at a height of 1 lakh yojanas, there comes moon. So in that way, in vertical height wise, moon is farther than sun. But from the point to point distance between the sun and earth and moon and earth, the moon is nearer to earth in all practical purposes. And later on we see in the upcoming verses, after moon, we have the Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and all one goes above, one above the other. But Vishnu Purana says that these locations of all these planets are all in relation to one Makar Sankranti day. On the day of Makar Sankranti, these are all positioned like this. As we just now discussed, like when Dhruva pulls the chariot of sun goes toward Dhruva. That means it's going upward also, is going to inside also. Since sun is going up and down over every 6 months, similarly moon also goes up and down over every 15 days. 15 days it goes upward, 15 days it comes downward. Like that, each and every planet will go up and down in a fixed time. Mars, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter. So, on one day, and today on the Makra, the sun is below and moon is above. Maybe few days later, 15 days later, the moon will become below sun and sun goes above the moon. So, who is above, who is below? Above and below is not a permanent position. It will change from time to time, day to day, month to month, year to year. So, like that. So, that is understanding. Prabhuji will take your questions after some discussion. Little discussion we do, then we'll take all your questions. So then, in Bhagavad Gita, we talk about the potency of the Supreme Lord manifesting through his vibhutis. Yadaditya gatam tejo jagat bhashayate akilam yachandramasi yachagno tattejo vidhimamakam. The light of the sun, moon, and fire which illuminate this universe is all coming from my vibhuti. Is all my vibhuti only. Then, Ga Mahavisha Bhutani Daryami Ahamojasa Pushnami Aushadhi Sarve Somabhuto Rasatmaka. Entering the Bhumandala or earth by my own Shakti and being situated there, I maintain the moving and non-moving entities who are living upon the Bhumandala. Then becoming the sweet juiced moon, I cause the planets, or I cause the plants such as rice to increase and grow. It is by Lord's potency, the moon is able to provide us the cooling moon rays by which all our plants will have juicy substances in their food grains, fruits and flowers, etc. It is all coming from the moon. So in that way, the moon is providing food as well as our food also. So with these few points, there is a reference from Rigveda which talks about the distances between the sun, moon, and earth in relation to 108. So Rigveda says that the diameter of the sun disk every day morning or every day evening where sunrise, sunset happens, you can see the sun in the eastern direction in the morning, in the evening, there is a sun disk. So just like Earth has a diameter of Earth globe has a diameter of 1000 yojanas, the sun disk that we see in the morning also has a diameter. That diameter is 108 times the diameter of the Earth. If Earth diameter is 1000, sun diameter is 108,000. Then the distance between the sun and earth is 108 times to the diameter of the sun. That means 108,000 into 108. That will be 11.664 million yojanas. Tulasi Das had told 12 million yojanas. Rigveda is telling 11.664 million yojanas. The round figure of 11.66 is 12. So in that way, this is the exact value. If you multiply this with 8 and then with 1.6, you will get exactly 1.50 or 150 million kilometers, which is 1 astronomical unit, which is according to modern measurement. And then early in the morning, when we see the sun, this is the sun disk. Okay. And in a big circle, the total angle is 360 degrees. Then what is the angle made by the sun disk alone? The diameter of sun disk, if you accept the arc, so this arc length is equal to the diameter of the sun. And the radius of the circle is the distance between the sun and earth. Then what is the angle? L is equal to R theta. Then theta is equal to L by R in terms of radians. L is sun's diameter, that is 108,000. R is distance between sun and earth, that is 11.64 million yojanas. 108 by 11.66 million. That will be 1 by 108 radians. And this in terms of degrees is 0.5305 degrees. That means half degree. Early in the morning, late in the evening, we can see sun occupying a position of half degree. Similarly, for moon, the moon's diameter is equal to 108 by 400 times to the diameter of the earth. Multiply 1000 with 108 by 400. That will be 270. Little more than 1/4. 100 by 400 is 1/4. 100 by 400 is 1.08 by 4, something like that, very little more than 1/4. Then the distance with the moon and earth is 108 times to the diameter of the moon. 270 into 108, that is 29,106, 160. So basically, sun to earth distance is 11.6 million yojanas. Moon to earth distance is 29,000 plus, means you can take approximately 30,000. So who is close to earth? Moon only, for all practical purposes. And similarly, on the full moon day, we can see the moon full disk. The moon also occupies a angle of 0.5305 degrees. So these are the details mentioned in Rigveda. Same way, if you take the modern numbers, then calculate the ratios. This is the sun's diameter, this is earth diameter. Ratio between these two will be 108.9. Rigveda says 108, so little bit more than that, no problem. This is the distance between the sun and earth. The ratio between these two is 107.9, which is close to 108, matching. And the angle made by sun disk over a period of 1 year, it varies from 0.52 to 0.54, because sometimes sun is coming close. When it is close, it is more. When it is far, it is less. But the average is 0.53. Okay, both are matching. Similarly, for moon, this is the moon diameter. The ratio between these two is 109 by 400. We said 108 by 400. This is also closely matching. This is the distance between the moon and earth. The ratio between these two is 110.6 times, which is little more than 108. Still okay. The angle made by the moon disk over a period of 1 month varies from 0.49 to 0.55. The mean value is 0.52, which is close to 1.53, which is okay. So this is how in Vedic literatures, everything has been mentioned in terms of one simple relationship. Here, if you know two numbers, we can calculate everything, 1,108. But here you need to remember all the numbers. You need to remember this number, 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 so many numbers. But in Vedic mathematics, only 1, 2 numbers. Everything will come accordingly. So like that. So now here one thing is there. Kindly pay attention to this. The moon and earth, the moon's orbit has a radius of 29,000 or 30,000 yojanas only. Not so much. If moon is revolving around Mount Meru with a radius of 30,000, but the distance between the moon and earth globe is 50,000. So moon will be revolving around here. Only the people on this side of the earth only will see the moon. People on this side of the earth will never see. This side India is there. Indians are not supposed to see the moon. If the moon is revolving around Mount Meru. Because the moon's orbital radius is only 30,000. Distance between Meru and earth is 50,000. Then how do we understand it? The moon's orbit is located around Bharatkhanda. That is like this. Moon is actually revolving around earth globe. Is not revolving around Mount Meru. Then Sri Thiruvenkat Ramanujariya draw this map here, drawing such a way that pole star is here, center of earth globe is here. He drew a line connecting these two. And this line is acting as the center of the orbits of all the luminaries, all the Navagrahas, 12 Rashis, 27 constellations, and unlimited Tarakas. While they were revolving in their respective orbits, their center lies on this line. This line becomes the center of all the orbits. Even for Sun also it is shown here. This is the Sun's orbit in the month of July. This is Sun's orbit in the month of April and October. And this is Sun's orbit in the month of January. So these three orbits are perpendicular to this line. And the orbit is gradually raising up. From January to April, April to July going up, and July to October, October to January coming down. So in a year, the orbit of the sun goes up and down. Similarly, the moon's orbit also located like this only, perpendicular to this line and goes up and down in every month. It's like that. Though in the Bhagavatam, we say that the sun is revolving around Meru, but in reality, according to the Acharyas, sun is revolving around the line connecting Bharatkhanda and pole star. So this we can understand from Sri Thiruvenkat Ramanujariya's picture. So like that. Because with respect to Meru, 30,000 is here. but Bharatkhanda is at location of 50,000 yojanas. So therefore, moon should revolve around Bharatkhanda only. It's like that. So moon is very close to us in comparison to sun. The moon is about 30,000, sun is about 11.66 million yojanas. That means 12 million yojanas. So very far. Then, what is moon? Previously, we discussed about sun. Sun is a chariot and everyone is living there, etc. Similarly, moon, some details are mentioned. Basically, the moon, by his waxing and waning phases, he creates day and night for the Devatas and Pitrus. During Shukla Paksha, that is the waxing phase, the moon creates day for the Devatas, night for the Pitrus, which is suitable for the worship of the Devatas. And during waning phase, the moon creates day for the Pitrus, night for the Devatas, which is suitable for the worship of the Pitrus. So the understanding is that, so here is sun, here is moon, and the moon is revolving around earth in a circular fashion like this. And that moon has been divided into two parts. In one part, one category of Devatas are residing. In the other part, the Pitrus are residing. So Pitrus stay in this part of the moon, and a category of Devatas who are known as Sadhyas, they live in this part of the moon. So whenever the Vedic literatures call Pitraloka, Pitraloka, Pitraloka means the moon planet. For all practical purposes, Pitraloka is the moon planet. So during Shukla Paksha, when the moon is in between sun and earth, that is called Amavasya. When the same moon is in the opposite side of the earth, that is called Paurnami. Amavasya to Paurnami, it is called Shukla Paksha. During Shukla Paksha, Devatas will have daytime, Pitrus will have night time. And during Krishna Paksha, other 14 days, 14 and a half days, the Pitrus will have daytime, and the Devatas mean the Sadhyas who are living in this portion of the moon, they will have night time. So these are some pictures. So now, let us try to understand what the moon is made up of. Fire, from our observation, for all practical purposes, we see him as condensed fire element. It is a fiery ball. It is completely a fiery ball. Just like earth is like a condensed earth element. Earth is condensed element. Sun is condensed fire element. Similarly, the moon is condensed water element. The moon is actually a ice planet. It is a fiery planet. It is a ice planet. This is earthly globe. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Soma Bhutva Rasatmaka. Rasatmaka Soma. The nature of Soma is made up of rasa. What do you mean by rasa? Rasoham apsu kaunteya. Rasa means water. The moon is made up of solid water. It is an ice planet. So this we can understand from our Vedic literatures. So this concept has been indicated in the 20th chapter also, where the residents of Lakshadweepa were offering prayers unto moon. They said that just the way you are providing food for the Devatas and Pitrus, you also provide food for us through the medium of food grains, flowers and fruits and all. Please maintain us nicely, like that they are praying. So the Devatas who are living in the moon are Sadhyas, who are a lesser category of Devatas. And the other side, Pitrus are residing. Pitrus are those who drink hot vapor of food. Pitrus, Pushavagahi Pitra, Pitrus eat the steam. I'll tell one story. With that, we can complete for today's discussion. This moon landing and all we'll discuss tomorrow. So this is our last slide for today. So basically, it is said that Ushvavagahi Pitra. So the Vayu Purana explains when sun evaporates water from the surface of the earth, the vapor, the evaporated water directly goes to the moon. Then moon churns it. By churning it, it takes out the essence. The essence is Somarasa. So starting from the day after Amavasya, that is Pratipad onwards, the moon starts churning and collecting the somarasa, collecting the essence of the evaporated water. After essence is removed, the remaining water will come down and form clouds. So like that, day after day, is keep accumulating more and more somarasa. As a result of that, we start seeing the scene more and more whiter and brighter. First day smaller, second day little bigger, little bit more bigger, like that. And the Paurnami, the full moon day, the whole moon is occupied, the moon surface is filled with somarasa. Then moon calls all the devatas from Bhuvarloka, Sargaloka and everywhere to come and take their respective meals. The food for the devatas is somarasa. For us, the food is rice dal, sabji, chapati. But for devatas, the regular meal is this particular somarasa. So because there are so many devatas, they come in groups. First group will come, they will eat and they go. Second group will come and eat and they go. Like that, they will continue to eat for 14.5 days. Since they are getting served, the somarasa is getting reducing. That's why after Paurnami, we start seeing the moon is reducing small. So all the way up to the noon time of Amavasya, the devatas were eating. And whatever somarasa is left, that will be eaten by the residents of the moon, the Pitu Devatas and Sadhyas. They will drink the remaining somarasa in the second half of Amavasya day. And by the time they eat, everything is empty. And from next day onwards, again moon starts accumulating or collecting more and more somarasa. That's why on the Amavasya day, since there is no somarasa on the moon, we don't see any moon. The next day onward, the somarasa is getting collected, we start seeing the moon little bit. So this is the moon. The moon is abode of the Pitrus and Sadhyas. And the moon is extracting the essence of the evaporated water and collecting somarasa. That somarasa is given as food to the devatas and also finally to the Pitrus. And that moon is endowed with the somarasa. That somarasa also comes to us in the form of the cooling moon rays, and it enters into the plants. The same thing enters into the fruits, vegetables, food grains. When we eat them, we are nourished and we are maintained. So this is how the moon is taking care of us. And Bhagavatam says that the Pitrus and Sadhyas are created by Brahma together. That's why they are both of them are living in the moon planet. And when Brahma created the Pitrus, he created 4 kinds of Pitrus: Agnishvattas, Barishadas, Saumyas, and Ajyapas. Of these 4 Pitrus, 2 brothers are living in the moon planet. Who? Saumyas and Kavyas are living in the moon planet. Agnishvattas and Barishadas are living in Yamaloka. In Yamaloka also there is a Pitruloka, small Pitruloka, secondary category of Pitruloka. There 2 brothers are living there and 2 brothers are living in the moon planet. And these 2 brothers and their descendants are now living in the moon planet. So these are some details about the moon. So we have discussed about sun and moon today a little bit. And we'll stop here. It is already 9:30. We are getting late. Devotees might be hungry and they might want to take prasad. So any questions quickly before winding up? In between, a couple of you raised your hand. Yeah, yes, Prabhu, quickly.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I have 2 questions. One question is this: that waning and waxing of the moon is happening because of the Somras collection, or we hear that it is because of the Rahu and Ketu also?
No, waxing and waning is not because of Rahu and Ketu. It has got multiple reasons, but this is one of the reasons. One reason is because of the Daksha's curse and Lord Shiva's blessing. Another reason is because of the relative motion between sun and earth. Another reason is because of the Somarasa and all. So multiple reasons are there. So this is one of the reasons.
Another
But
Prabhuji,
not because of Rahu and Ketu.
yes.
Rahu and Ketu will cause eclipse, not waxing and waning phases.
Okay, Prabhuji. I have one more question that in the previous slides you were sharing that how Bhima went down in Patala. So can you please explain like it once more time, Prabhuji, that how he
Because he was
found
thrown
this
into Ganga. Bhima was thrown into
Ganga?
Ganga. Ganga goes
Yes.
to Patala, so he was taken to Patala along with the Ganga, along with the flow of Ganga.
Okay, Ganga goes to Patala. from
Ah.
our this Bhumandala only.
We discussed, na?
Okay.
Ganga was taken to Patala by Bhagirath Maharaj in order to deliver his forefathers. Since then, it keep going. Even today also, it keep going to Patala.
Okay.
Yes, Rukmini Mataji.
Prabhuji, moon is a solid form of water,
Yes, it is the ice planet.
ice planet. So it was coming in my mind that the distance between sun and moon and the distance between moon and the earth.
Hmm.
It's like how much is this? Can you please show the slide again? So
Not the distance between sun and moon. It is the distance between the sun and earth and moon and earth.
okay. So
See here.
sun and earth
This
and
is sun and earth is 11.66 million yojanas. This is moon and earth, 29,000.
so it was coming in my mind that sun is so hot and it's a ice planet. And will it not get melted? Because when there is a sunlight in the month of June and July, we feel so much heat. So how to understand that?
Yeah, so no problem. Some part of it may melt, other part may not melt. Or see, first of all, you are applying our logic upon the moon. The moon is kind of heavenly abode. So it is water, but not the water like the water which we are experiencing. The water also heavenly water. So it may not melt by the sunlight.
Thank
So
you.
any other devotees have any question? I'm sorry we are late. So I think we'll stop here. Thank you very much for joining today, Monday. All of you are not accustomed to attend Mondays. So we'll continue our discussion from this point onwards next Saturday morning. Hare Krishna.
Thank you
Grantara
so much.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Antakoti Vaishnava Bhaktivinoda ki jai. So this whole week, you please contemplate upon the subject matter what we have discussed till now. Please read those chapters and etc. etc. So that the more you read, the more you discuss, the more you remember.
Thank you so
That
much.
is the only hope. Hare Krishna.
Right.